Hey guys, it's Amber and welcome back to my channel. Or if you're new here, welcome. Hi, hello. My name is Amber and I create content for The Sims 4. I primarily create Let's Plays as well as cast videos. And so today we're going to be doing a cast video and we're actually going to be creating a coven of witches. And so I did want to take kind of a modern take on witches to kind of start off my content for the month of October. Like I want to do something spooky, but not too spooky. I probably will have some cast videos and some Let's Plays kind of coming up for this month that are going to be a little bit more spooky, but I wanted to start with something a little bit more tame, I guess. So today we're creating kind of this coven. It's 3 witches. They're all pretty young, so they're all young adults, kind of aging from like 18 to 19 years old. They actually are all in university together, and that's kind of where they met each other, if you will. None of them are actually spellcasters in The Sims. Because they're still developing their powers. It's not at all because I completely forgot to make them spellcasters. That's not the reason, and I can't be told that it is. But anyways, so these 3 girls are kind of all developing into their skills, and they're hoping to get a lot stronger in the future. But for now, they're all just kind of learning. So this first sim that we're creating is Miss Cassidy Lou, and Cassidy is actually the only one of these girls that knows kind of anything about the magical world. So her family is a magical family and they do know this. However, Cassidy's great grandfather was actually killed in a dueling accident. And so because of that, her great grandmother kind of swore off magic and she forbade any of her kids or any of her future children to do any sort of magic. And so because of that, Cassidy's family hasn't done any magic in kind of a long time at this point. However, if you'll notice kind of throughout this series or this video, I kind of made sure that all the girls had kind of different eyes, and I wanted that to kind of represent a strong bloodline, so to speak. So as you can see, Cassidy is actually meant to be of Chinese descent, and so it's typically pretty common for individuals that are kind of Asian heritage, especially Chinese, to have dark colored eyes, but Cassidy actually has these really light gray kind of steely eyes, and it kind of represents having a lot of strong magic, especially in your particular blood. And so it was very obvious from the time that Cassidy was very young that she was a very powerful spellcaster, and that's kind of been something that she struggled with because her family didn't want to encourage that behavior. They really didn't want her to get involved with it. They have really bad experiences with it, and they kind of wanted her to stay protected and away from that. So they kind of really held that back from her. But now that Cassidy's of age and she's off at university, she's not with her family anymore, it's really something that she wants to kind of get back into and become attached to. And so she kind of decided to create this coven. So she is the person that founded this coven, and she found these other girls. She kind of has the ability to sense magic in others. And so she found these other 2 and kind of pulled them in, and she's hoping that they'll be able to kind of discover this together and become a strong group of witches together. And so she's kind of the only sim that has like a spellcaster based aspiration because she knows that's what she wants to do, and the other 2 don't really know what they want to do. You know, Cassidy kind of approached them and they were happy to have her approach them. They think it's interesting, but they don't really know, you know, what all this looks like. So the second sim that we're creating is Miss Amaya, and Amaya actually comes from a huge family, and she's always been, you know, family's always been really important to her, and this is kind of her first time away from home. And so for her, when Cassidy approached her and mentioned this coven, it made her feel more at home because it's kind of like a little family that she can have while she's away at university. And so that idea really appealed to her. So she's really interested in that, but she kind of doesn't know anything about magic. She has no idea that it's real. I mean, she's read like books and stuff about like witchcraft, but like she's never considered that that could be something that you could really experience. And so it's all kind of a novel idea to her. She thinks it's interesting, but I don't know if she's really invested in it, if she really believes it. Of course, the big thing, like I said, with all the girls is the eyes. And so Amaya probably has the most striking eyes of the whole group. So she does have heterochromia, as you can see here. She has one like violet eye, and then this eye right now is like a lighter brown color, but I did end up changing it to a darker brown just because I think that would have been more natural for her eye color, so we went with like a darker eye. So she's got one dark eye and then like this shocking kind of violet eye, and it's something that she's always kind of thought was peculiar. Her family's really never known where it came from. No one else in her family obviously has anything like that, so it's always been something peculiar about Amaya. And so when Cassidy came up to her and kind of told her that it was because she's a witch and she's got these magical skills, she was pretty intrigued. And so she figured she could go along with it. But she's not really fully vested in it yet. But she does like the idea of kind of having these girls and having this family while she's away at university and away from her family. So for Maya, I will say that her witch style is probably how I would dress if I was a witch, even though I could just dress like this now. And like, if you ask my husband, he'd probably tell you I'm a witch, but he's wrong and I'm not. But I love this outfit that I ended up going with for her. I kind of considered that really classic witch outfit, but this dress from the Sentate collection is phenomenal and I love it, and I just thought it looked so perfect on her, as well as kind of I wanted to give her a little bit more of an adventurous piercing. So Cassidy's the only one of the girls that has any tattoos, and so for Amaya I kind of wanted to go with something very like cool. She's very feminine, she's a little bit more girly than the other two girls, but not too much. So she's definitely got a lot of style and I really like her. I think that she might be my favorite. You guys will have to let me know down below which of these three is your favorite, but I definitely think style wise it's Amaya. And so moving into the last sim, this is the last sim that's going to be in this coven, and this is Ruby. And of all of the sims that we've kind of talked about, I have to say that Ruby's kind of had the hardest life. She's always been different, and it hasn't been something that her family has really encouraged or tried to cultivate in her. So as you can see, kind of the first thing again with the eyes, Ruby has like these reddish eyes, and it's been something that she struggled with her whole life. People always said she looks like a demon and she's demonic, she's possessed. And because she does have these, she's always kind of had these powers and never really been in control of them. A lot of things happen around Ruby. A lot of accidents, a lot of incidents, a lot of kind of struggles go on around her. And for her, it's kind of hard to tell, but I did give her a scar. So she does have a scar on her cheek because, like I said, she's kind of prone to accidents, and kind of destruction kind of follows her a little bit because she's not really in control of her powers yet. It's a little bit hard to see the scar just because the skin detail she has on is pretty strong skin detail, so it doesn't come through it too strong, but it is there and you can kind of still see it. And so for Ruby, when Cassidy approached her with his whole spellcaster magic thing, she still really doesn't know what to think. The idea kind of makes sense to her. It kind of explains why things have been so difficult for her, but she's not sure that she thinks it's a positive thing. Like, truthfully, she kind of hates it. She kind of hates the idea of it, but she's going along with it because kind of for the same reason as Amaya, the idea of this coven being like a family, because she's never had any positive family feelings, emotions, connections. She's never had that. And so for her, the idea of maybe being able to have that and have this is the reason why she went ahead and joined this coven. And she's really hoping that things go well and that this is the right choice for her, but she's still not sure. And so it's a little bit hard for her. And that's kind of where Ruby is, at least in the grand scheme of all of this. As far as Ruby, I think that she's so pretty, but I'm not gonna lie to you, it's still really hard to find like lipstick and like especially like glossy lips, which is what I wanted to do for her, that like go well with Sims with these darker skin tones. And it makes me sad that you kind of have to struggle to do that. And I did find one that I like, but I can definitely say that was something I struggled with Ruby. I do really like her, and I also really like her style. It's probably the least quote unquote witchy of everyone, because like she's not wearing like the wide rimmed hat or anything at all, but I do kind of like how her style turned out. It looks comfy, it's cozy. She's not fully vested in this, so she's still kind of This is just how she's always dressed. This is kind of how Ruby's always been. She's got a little bit of toughness to her style because she's a little bit of a tough girl. You know, she's kind of had a tough life. And so I think that she represents that well. I also love this hair by Savvy Sweet. And you guys will have to let me know if you want me to get a list of all the CC that I use for these Sims and put it down below in the description, because I can definitely do that. I'll start working on compiling it and I'll get it added as soon as I can, because I know that you guys need all of this CC in your game. It is amazing. But that's pretty much it for this video. I'm about to finish up making Ruby, and then at the end there will be screenshots just kind of showing the finished looks for these girls. But let me know what you think. Did you enjoy this video? Do you like how their looks turned out? And let me know, are there any other like Halloween themed cast videos you'd like to see on here on the channel? Please leave that down below in the description. Like and subscribe if you've enjoyed the video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a spooky day. I will see you all next time. Bye.